Keerstyn, welcome to the podcast. I am coming to you from my underground lair. As you can see, the pipes with the radioactive tubing. That's actually from our radon system. So I see that you're in the SaaS business. What got you interested in that? And could you tell us what SaaS means?
Yeah, so SaaS means software as a service. I actually never really knew about SaaS before I got into it. I mean, I have heard of it before, but nothing, I wasn't really educated in it at all. I really got pulled into my business simply because it's a mesh of HR and marketing, which is what I studied in college. I love the side of HR that is really focused on helping communication between your team, really understanding employee engagement and then employee retention and how we can continue to build that up. And then I just love marketing. I love all aspects of it, whether it's SEO or building a brand or whatever it may be. In marketing, I love that area. So when I got introduced to Waypoint, it was the best of both worlds in a SaaS product, from understanding, helping people understand their companies and their communities within that company, but then also having that marketing side and really understanding how to help these people be able to continue those conversations, continue understanding their employees, and build retention, build employee engagement. So that's really how I got into the SaaS business, so to speak.
So you mentioned Waypoint. Is that the name of the company you work for?
That is correct, yeah.
And where are you guys headquartered?
Yeah, so we are in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So on the west side of Michigan, on Lake Michigan, essentially, about 40 miles-ish away. Yeah, it's a great company. We are a startup, so and we are not venture backed, so it's all bootstrapped, so based off of us, which has been really exciting to say the least.
Now, are you guys going into the office or are you guys working remotely?
No, so we actually have the ability to work remotely regardless of if COVID-19 existed or not. Our company was basically, or our product was basically built to have companies be able to work remotely and have that communication. I know right now, especially, communication is so vital, and understanding where your teammates are is so beneficial. So that is really why we built this, because we saw that trend happening. We saw that communication not necessarily being there if you're working remotely, and then COVID-19 happened. So we have been working in the office in the past, but now we are not because of COVID-19.
Well, since you brought up COVID-19, how is the COVID-19 pandemic affecting your business?
Yeah, so we definitely have been affected. I mean, not drastically though, not to what other companies have been doing. We still have all the ability to work. We are able to support our customers and potential clients, and we're able to help people, which is what I love doing. That's my favorite part of my job, is just helping people and understanding where we can continue to help them flourish. So yeah, I think that we have been affected to an extent. I mean, we're working from home, we're not seeing everyone as much, but we're making it work. And a lot of people simply just have to make it work at this point.
So talking to that, it sounds like you guys have a product that helps teams remotely interact. So could you elaborate a little bit more on that service that you offer to help businesses, yourself included, during these unprecedented times?
Yeah. So when COVID-19 started, it was pretty much a panic, honestly. Everyone pretty much got told to work from home within 24 hours. Not a whole lot of answers were pretty much given, other than we are in social isolation now. And so since that started, we have seen just people honestly just surviving, not thriving. And our product was really made for people to start thriving in those communications. A lot of the times it's more when we start this remote work and we are put into something so quickly, we don't have a whole lot of time to plan out how we're going to do this, how we're going to keep our employees engaged, how we're going to fill those holes that might be there now that we're not working in an office space. And we're probably making some pretty quick decisions, not based on how our employees are feeling, not really understanding how our employees are feeling. It's more just, it just has to happen. So now that we're a few weeks into this, those decisions are probably becoming lesser and lesser. We really want to help companies embrace the whole concept of having solid communication and asking those hard questions and understanding, oh, maybe John Doe, like, he is not really thriving right now simply because he's not communicated to, he doesn't understand where the team's at. The employee is simply just struggling with this whole transition, and we might not realize it because we aren't having those conversations. We aren't having those one-on-ones. We like to call it like the surviving conversations and the thriving conversations. So the surviving conversations are often task related and more of just that basic understanding of what needs to get done, versus the thriving conversations are, how are you guys doing with this? How can I support you in this? How are you feeling emotionally? How is your family feeling emotionally? What are those things that have stopped you from actually being a fantastic employee that you were prior to this? So that's where we come in and help and give you a tool so that you can automate and regulate those conversations, walk into those conversations feeling prepared by understanding how the employees are feeling prior with pre-meeting forms, giving you a better sense of who they are through DISC and StrengthsFinder, and giving you a few different hints on how you can support them in those ways. So for example, I am a high C and S kind of, so I'm very analytical. I like the numbers, I like the nitty gritties, I like the whys and the hows of why we're doing projects and all of that. My boss, on the other hand, he is a high I, so he likes the big picture. He likes the top 5 points. So understanding how we can support each other in this way, and the communication aspect, even if we have an hour via video chat, has been pretty effective. And that has been all done through our tool, Waypoint. So
Yeah, so I've done the DISC analysis too, and I think I'm a capital C, lowercase d, which it means that I like to, think about things. I like to have a little bit of control over things. But could you explain to our listeners what a DISC assessment is?
Yeah. So it's a psycho-analytical test, essentially. It doesn't necessarily define exactly who you are, but it gives ideas of how you work, how you function, how you take in information, and how you just like to work. So like I said before, like, I am very analytical. I like the whys, the hows, the nitty gritties of everything. And some people like the high level understanding a little bit more. And then that being said, once you understand that and you understand your either boss or employees DISC or strengths finders, you're able to really just like dive into their strengths then and play off their strengths. So for example, I'm able to play off my boss's strengths a little bit more by doing more of those nitty gritty things, doing the tweaks on the website or the LinkedIn content creation. He does more of the big picture stuff. So whether that's having a big conversation, doing the more of the video side of things, whatever it may be, it's just how we function, how we work. So we're able to build off those strengths and then also have a communication off those strengths. And he's able to ask me the whys and the hows, and I'm able to walk into the conversation with more of the big picture mindset. So being able to understand that with our tool has been awesome.
And this is built into your tool?
Yes. Yep.
That's pretty empowering to be able to offer that to businesses. Now, what size business would your tool be a good fit for?
Yeah. So we are looking at the 25 to about 150 range. Obviously, if you're a bit smaller, a bit larger than that, we can definitely host you. But we really believe that the big corporate America world has so many tools already in place. And to add on another one would just feel overwhelming and not be presented well. But in that smaller business range, we're able to provide you with a tool that you might not have in an HRIS system, or you might not necessarily have all the tools in the world, and you might not be able to afford all the tools in the world, but we're extremely affordable in that regard. We've done that way just because we believe that small businesses really need this at this time.
Well, it's very powerful and it's very timely. It sounds like a great product. If our listeners want to reach you, how can they reach you?
Yeah. So you can email me at kb, as in butterfly, at waypointhq.com. Otherwise, you can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Keerstyn Bonner, and I work for Waypoint.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
being on the show.
Thanks, James.